the SEC. It just means more.
I have them going pretty far, in my opinion.
He's the best linebacker in the country.
Go Hoosiers.
Welcome back, guys. Hope you guys had a Merry Christmas. Let's see, what is this, Monday? Is this Tuesday or Monday?
Tuesday the 30th.
So we got New Year's coming up here. So happy holidays, everybody. We're going to talk about basketball. We're going to do that first. I think Shep's going to maybe talk about a little bit of a recap and then preview some games. And then we'll finish on football talk, talking about these bowl games starting up here for the playoffs. But Shep, take it away.
Gotcha. Yeah. So for recap, it's going to be real short because a lot of games weren't played, I think, for 3 days. So the only thing for the recap I got is I'm just going to shout out Michigan scoring another 100-point game. I think that is 7 out of 13 games they scored 100 points.
Would be correct.
So they are on fire. Other than that, I'm just going to go into the previews because we got some exciting games this weekend for conference play.
I got a hot take real quick. Hot take. Michigan will lose within the first 2 rounds of March Madness because they have peaked way, way too early.
I've seen a lot of comments like that too. The peak is happening too soon. Let's go look at their schedule. Let's see who they play.
The writing is on the wall, dude. You see teams do this every year. They get hot way too early, and they hit their peak way too early.
Yeah, and then I've also seen a lot of comments on their record. Looking at it right now, the only 2 teams they played was Auburn and Gonzaga. They played Gonzaga after Gonzaga just went off 3 games. They did win by 40, so we got to give them that. And then Auburn is Auburn, and they also won by, 40 in that one? 30? 30 exact. So
yeah,
I think they'll be fine. I like Michigan. I think Michigan's a fun team to watch this year. I have them going pretty far, in my opinion.
They'll be out within the first 2 rounds.
I don't know. They got a good front court. When they have that 3 big rotation, it's hard to guard them.
Elliott will choke. He cannot shoot the ball consistently from the perimeter.
I don't know. I can't agree with you on that hot take, but it is a hot take. All right, then we're going to get into the previews then. So, as I said, it is conference play. So, we're going to Friday's games. Starting off at 7 p.m., we have USC-Michigan. That'll be a pretty good game. USC has a pretty high scoring offense. I don't know. I think Gilbert Arenas' kid might be coming back halfway through the season. I don't know yet. He tore his ACL at the beginning, like training of that. But for this game, I got Michigan winning. I think USC just does not compete with them offensively. So
I don't know, dude. USC, they got that coach that was at Arkansas there for a couple of years. I forget his name. He's a short little dude. He's the guy that when they beat, I think it was North Carolina or whatever, when they were the first seed there, he got on top of the table and took his shirt off.
I do not remember that.
He started throwing his shirt around. I forget what his Musselman. Eric Musselman, maybe. I think that's his name.
I have no clue.
But he's a short little dude. He's got short man syndrome, 100%. I think USC is going to get that win. I think I'm going to give it to him. Maybe a technical foul from Chad Baker-Mazar, though.
Yeah, 7th-year senior.
You never know. He's a hothead. Could happen.
Yeah. I haven't watched many USC games just because I don't think they played anybody good. I think this is the real first game they've had, but I just don't think Michigan loses this. All right, then we'll go on to what's another one we got going on? Michigan State and Nebraska. So we have 12-1 Michigan State playing at Nebraska, which is 12-0, probably the most underrated team in the nation. They weren't on anyone's big or top 25 teams coming into the season, and they're ranked 13th now. Had great wins. Looking at this game, I'm obviously going to go Michigan State, big Izzo guy, but it wouldn't shock me if Nebraska comes out and wins this game. What are your thoughts on this one?
I think that would be shocking for me. I just feel like Tom Izzo, dude.
Right now they're playing hot. They're hot.
Top 5 coach of all time at the collegiate level.
I agree.
I just don't see him letting his team lose their focus on this game. This is a game that just Tom Izzo is going to outcoach.
Yeah, and I think that's a majority of people think the same thing. I think that, but it wouldn't surprise me if Nebraska comes out and makes this a good ball game.
Is it at Michigan State?
It's at Nebraska. If it was at Michigan State, I would take Michigan State by a lot.
Yeah, I'm still going to ride Michigan State there. I'm going to trust in Tom Izzo there.
Don't hate it. Tommy's got a great squad this year. They're playing very well. So that will cap the Friday games, not on the Saturday. So the start, we have Virginia and NC State. Virginia is actually ranked 21 right now, 11-1. In this game, it is at NC State. I'm going to go NC State on this one just because NC State has a better record, just play wise. They play better teams, but Virginia's also a good squad. ACC, they're always going to compete. They always compete for that title. So I got NC State on this one though.
Where's it? Is this at NC State?
Yeah,
Man, yeah, I mean that's a pretty good pick. I mean, Will Wade, they've had some close games this year with some really good quality opponents, but Virginia just they're kind of I don't know. They're just one of those teams that they've just always been good in basketball.
yeah. That's Virginia's always been great at basketball.
It's like Virginia for me. I think Virginia is a blue blood
Ooh,
tradition
ooh,
wise. I think like
ooh.
they're up there with those blue blood programs. So I'm gonna roll with Virginia on this.
I
I
get
literally
that take. I
I
get it.
could not name you a single player on that team. Couldn't name you the coach, but just that brand of Virginia basketball, I trust it.
Trust the brand. I like it.
Everybody trusts
Everyone trusts
the
the brand.
Virginia brand of basketball. I feel like that's
I
a
do
blue blood program.
until they lose to the 16th seed.
Then they won the whole thing the next year.
It's true. You gotta take the L's to get the dubs.
They got it.
Got it. And then one of the sleeper games, in my opinion, I'm Bama versus Kentucky. So Kentucky's coming to Bama
How's this a sleeper game?
because Kentucky and that freshman, or I guess sophomore now, that's coming back. I think that really
Yeah,
elevates Kentucky's game. I think it will be a better game than most people expect.
this is
That's
a
what I'm trying to
top
get at.
matchup. This is a top matchup. This ain't no
I think
sleeper game.
I think realistically Bama will win by 40, but I think it could get interesting.
You win by 40? Are you
Yeah, I
crazy?
I think you guys smoke Kentucky in this
Is this where's this at? Is this at
at Bama.
oh it's
Because
at Bama?
mm,
Coleman Coliseum. Dude, this is a blue blood game right here. These are two blue blood programs. Kentucky conference play, I mean it's the SEC. It just means more. It's gonna be close every game. I'm gonna go Bama though, of course. Roll Tide.
So yeah, I think the big factor in this one is just going to be Jaden Quinton's. If he comes out, if Pope decides to start him, which I think they should, I think he could really give Bama's bigs a run for their money. He's just a big physical kid. I'm pretty sure he played 14 minutes last game, had 8 rebounds. So I mean, coming off an ACL tear, it's pretty impressive. But I still think Bama gets a big win in this. But I think Kentucky could put up a good fight. So
They could. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Bama lose this game. I also wouldn't be surprised if they win the game. It's
yeah,
an
you
early
guys have
conference
been
game.
interesting some games.
Need to win the game though for sure, but I think
Win to win.
Bama's front court can handle it. They've been playing good ball recently.
Mhm.
So
And then 1 o'clock game, we also got Oklahoma State and Texas Tech. I know Oklahoma State's not ranked, but they are 12-1. They're going to be playing at Texas Tech. I think this is going to be a solid Big 12 game. Just off the top of the dome, I think Texas Tech is going to win this just because of how Chris Anderson and Toppin are playing right now. They are a dangerous 1-2 punch. Love Oregon State though. I know they have a transfer that came in from Oregon. I'll pull up his name real quick. What was his name? It was Victor Miller, Victorious Miller. Sorry, I know he's their leading guard for him. He's fun to watch. He's had a pretty impressive season so far for Oklahoma State, but I do have Texas Tech going to win this game. What are
Texas
your
Tech.
thoughts on that? Yeah,
Yeah, I think you got to roll Texas Tech there. I,
I think they're just on fire, figuring it out
you
at the
think
right time.
you think so? I don't know
Coming off
about
a
all that.
big win off Duke, and I mean, if those two keep on playing like they've been playing, they're just going to
I
be a dangerous squad.
I don't know about all that, but I think Oklahoma State they got the record, but I don't. What's their schedule look like so far this year? I don't really feel like Oklahoma State's been playing some quality, teams. Texas Tech, I think they're going to win this game with ease. I, I
I like
I
that.
don't think it will be anything special. So
Gotcha. Okay. All right, then we'll go on to let's talk about Auburn and Georgia, which Georgia has been a sleeper in the SEC, 12-1. They are ranked 23rd. I know they watched one of them game when they played UC and they absolutely killed us. So, but looking at their schedule, they got some decent wins. The only loss is against Clemson, which was 97-94. So that's a good sign. Clemson's got a good ball club this year. Looking at this game and the way Auburn's been playing recently, This is at Georgia. I'm going to go Georgia here just because Georgia is on a 5-game win streak. They're just looking better than Auburn. I think if Pettiford and Hall get it figured out, they can compete. But as of right now, I think Georgia wins this game.
Well, you do know Anthony Edwards is in the NBA. He's not at Georgia anymore.
It's true, but Georgia's got a very bouncy squad. They got Wilkins Jr. I think it's Wilkins. Dominique's son. I know that. They got some
Yeah.
other just bouncy kids as
I
well.
mean, listen, I hope Georgia
Blue
beats the
King.
doors off of them. I hope it happens, but this is a non-biased show, so I'm going to go with the barn here. I don't know, just I think Stephen Pearl, I feel like I'm giving them too much respect here by saying I think that that's a sleeping giant right now over there in Auburn, Alabama. I think those are one of those teams as the year goes on. Probably it's not going to happen right now in early conference play, but I think at the end of the year, going into March, I think they're going to be one of those teams that are hitting their stride and they're going to catch fire.
I hope that's the case. They're fun to watch when they're hot,
I
but
hope
I
it's not the
just
case, but you
yeah,
know,
for your sake. But it's just first year coach. You got a couple kids that are trying to figure it out. I don't know. They're just on a rocky patch right now. This could be the game that gets them lighted up again.
might be
So
going to roll with the barn though.
roll with the barn. What are the games we got here? If you guys will win free money this week, take whatever Houston spread is against Cincinnati. I will give you guys that free shout out. Houston is playing at Fifth Third. Tickets are probably $10, and spread's probably like -50. So
Is it is it programs just burning down right now? You think?
yeah, I think fire the AD, football coach Wes. Let's just wipe it, clean slate. That's my advice for UC.
Oh, athletic
So,
department. Okay.
just wipe them. No, just those two sports. I take that back. I think
I
we
think
got a
they got
good
a
like
solid
swim
golf
team.
team actually. So
Yeah, I
yeah,
think we have a dodgeball team. I know a dodgeball team's nice.
hockey team's pretty fair every year. I think.
Mm.
Not for sure, but yeah, I would definitely take the Houston spread for sure. It's unfortunate, It seems every year, all the talk is that UC they're gonna take that step. They're gonna be back into the conversation of college basketball. But as long as Wes Miller is the coach there, that will not happen. Will not
Completely
happen.
agree.
I said it before on one show. I'm like, just need to go drive down to Louisville and pick up whatever that coach's name is. I forget his
Hmm.
name, but go down there, get him, bring him back up here.
And I hope we lose by 50. So it just like rubs it in even more that we should fire him. But enough with the UC talk. We know how we feel on this podcast about that. Let's go to the 3 o'clock game. Tennessee at Arkansas. I think it's going to be one of the better games on Saturday. Arkansas obviously coming off some big wins. I think they're starting to figure it out. Darius Acuff Jr. is a fun freshman point guard to watch. He's not the normal 6'6" like you see nowadays, a 6'1" stocky guard that just gets it done. Love watching him play. On Tennessee's side, I think they're still trying to figure out their offensive scheme. Nate Ament, the 7 foot whatever freshman center, just likes to shoot threes. I think they just got a weird offense. They're starting to figure out though. But in this game, I'm going to go Arkansas. I think they win by at least 5 to 8 points. So
You know, Rick Barnes, Coach Cal. I mean, that's just going to be a matchup that'll just find its way into the coaching Hall of Fame, I'm sure. I'm going to roll with Tennessee here, just to go opposite of you. But
I
I
respect that.
would not be surprised if Arkansas pulls this off. Really doesn't surprise me. I will say something about Cal. They've been very quiet over there in Arkansas. This offseason, it hasn't been any flashing lights or anything like that. Kind of seems like they've taken that keep our head down and just grind it out,
Hmm.
see what happens kind of approach. So I'll give Arkansas that. I respect that approach. I think this could end up being one of Cal's best coaching years that he's ever had if it keeps going this way.
Ever had?
Well, besides the championship, of course, at Kentucky, but
Okay.
at least this is his least talented squad in turn.
I think they got some pretty good talent. They have 2 5-star recruits coming. Great
This
transfers.
is their least talented squad. I mean, come on. It's not even close. For him, this is his least talented squad. 100%. Without a
You
doubt.
could debate that, but I mean, you also look at their 3 losses. I just pulled it up. It's Michigan State, Houston, and Duke.
Great
So
losses.
3 great
Great.
losses, and I think the Houston game was, I know it was 94 to 85, but they looked
They had
good.
fight. That
Yeah,
game
they had
was
a
a
really
lot
fight.
closer than what the scoreboard,
Yeah,
showed
that's
there.
and it got me pretty excited. I was like, "Ooh, Cal might have a." This
But
game against Tennessee will be a
I go
big one.
Tennessee because I don't think that front court from Arkansas can handle that freshman that Tennessee has. If that freshman from Tennessee, if he plays physical,
It's true. Nate Emmett's a great freshman. He's not talked about enough, but there has been some signs
like
for
if he
him.
gets pushed around, they're gonna lose. But
I agree. I agree. But yeah, other than that, other than the other one I'm seeing that I think would be a good game would be UCLA and Iowa. UCLA is playing at Iowa, 11-2 Iowa, 10-3 UCLA. That's the only other one. I'll be taking Iowa in this game. UCLA is having not a down year, just not a year as everyone expected them to have. I know they were ranked in the top 25 coming into the season, but Donovan Ditt's still trying to work out that offensive scheme. I know they have a great small forward. Forget where he's from, but I think this game will be pretty close. I think it's a flip a coin probably, but at Iowa, I'm going to choose Iowa on this.
I was that's off brand Larry Bird, right?
Off-brand Bennett Strutz,
Off brand
everyone
Larry
says him.
Bird. I'm gonna
He's a
roll with
dog, yeah.
Iowa, sure. I like him. He plays good basketball. I think Cronin's
Cronin's on the hot seat right
countdown,
now.
dude. It's
He's on the hot
happening.
seat.
I don't
Going
think he'll
back
get
to
fired this
Cincinnati.
year, but I don't think he'll be there in the next 2 years.
No, yeah, he's on the hot seat, especially after they were ranked, what, 20 something coming into the year, and they're supposed to have a great squad, but not have lived up to the expectations as they should have.
Yeah. Okay.
But long season.
Okay.
All right,
Said
and
it.
then the main topic for basketball that me and Luke both want to talk about is the transfers from pros to back to college. And I'll let Luke give his thoughts on this first.
So for the people that don't know, I can't remember what year, but it was a couple years ago. He was like the 31st pick in the NBA draft.
Mhm.
He he's not. I can't even call it a transfer. He's, I guess,
Committing.
signed.
Yeah,
Signed with who? Baylor.
Baylor. Yep.
Baylor signed with Baylor, and he's gonna play this year. I'm pretty sure, actually.
Yes, he can start. I'm almost positive it was like next Wednesday. I
Yeah,
think it was
and
like
he
a
was
week.
pretty much the first round pick in the NBA.
Yep, 31st pick. Played 4 years. He guarded Victor Wembanyama in summer league. Um, yeah, and then you have multiple other people doing it. I know Flowers, the kid that came out from last year. Can't remember where he's
I don't
from,
know.
but
Actually, I don't know if that report is real. I
which
don't know
one?
if the Flowers report. I don't know if it's real or not.
There's definitely colleges reaching out to him. That's the thing that colleges are reaching out to the players that skip the college eligibility. So, and that's the thing where that gets me.
Yeah. So is it? Are these guys that have never played college basketball before? They've played overseas or they played in the G League that went to the draft and now
Yeah,
they're going
so these
back.
are like basically just skip college. So if you played
So okay.
overseas, if you have eligibility to go to college, you can technically play basketball. So a lot of the G League Ignite kids can go.
Yeah. And this
So
is only guys that have never played college before. So they have 4 years
mhm.
of eligibility, not 1 year of eligibility left or like 2 years.
Yeah,
Correct?
in this case, you could technically say like LeBron and Dwight Howard could. I don't know if they like legally could, but technically by the rule, they could go back to college and play.
That's awful. That's not even fair. And that's the problem with NIL. Big,
Yeah.
big problem with NIL. I mean, imagine, you know, I think let's just be grateful that Calipari's on the right side of this, but
Hmm.
Arkansas's, who's funded by Tyson Chicken, just unlimited amounts of money. Imagine if the CEO of Tyson was like, you know what? I think I want a couple of these NBA guys that are just sitting on the bench who have been a first round pick or second round pick, stuff like that. Imagine if he wanted to do that and Coach Cal was okay with it. They would have it. They would have it. All it would take for them is just throw them a contract that they're getting more money than they are on their NBA rookie contract or stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Which is crazy that colleges can pretty much match NBA now.
Yeah, for those younger guys'
Yeah, for
contract,
these younger
that's
guys, that's
horrible.
insane. But I say,
Wouldn't
hey, don't hate the players. You got to hate the system.
wouldn't AJ wouldn't he be his NIL deal right now? Is that
Seven
would
mil.
that be more than what he would get for his rookie contract?
I honestly don't
for
know
being the
what
number
the
one overall
started
pick?
like the most overall pick has ever gotten. Can't ever say, but I gotta say it's close, like
It's got to
guaranteed.
be close. It's got to be close.
Hmm.
It's definitely close because you're seeing it now more than ever. A lot of these guys are they're keeping their college eligibility. They're staying their junior, their senior year
Yeah.
because of NIL, which I'm fine with that. For the guys that are already in college, they're playing college ball. I think that's great for them not to be, a one and done, especially at the basketball level,
Hmm.
because that's what it always used to be. Especially at Kentucky with Coach Cal and the peak of it. You're a freshman All American, 5-star. Okay, come to Kentucky, play 1 year. Let's make a run at a
Exactly.
championship. Doesn't
Yeah.
work. Go be a top 10, top 15 first round pick and,
That's what
and go
Cal's
make
known for.
millions of
Yeah.
dollars. I think it's great now. You got guys staying for, 3 years,
Hmm.
4 years. I think it's great for college basketball all around. But the guys who've never played, they've played overseas or they played in the G League just out of high school. And they're
Yeah.
just,
So
because they're not getting the minutes at the NBA level, they're going to go back. They're going to go to college now. And well, first of all, are those guys eligible to get drafted again, or would they just
I
go
don't know
back
how
to?
that works. That's the
Yeah,
thing that
that's.
I was looking at. I couldn't find was what happens if a team wants to draft him again
I feel
or
like
like
they would
stuff like
just
that.
end up being like a free agent.
Yeah, I have no clue how that would work. Hopefully, more news or something happens within that space.
Because I feel like the teams, like that team, whoever drafted that dude that's going to Baylor, I feel like that team would have to give up his rights, like his contract that he has in the NBA for him to go back down and play college, or
Hmm.
they have to sign off on something to where once he does run out of eligibility, or whenever he decides to come back, he goes back to them. Because that's a
Yeah, I
first
don't hate
round
that.
pick. There's no way.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah,
know
I'd
how
have
it
to look
works.
more into it on that on the pick side. I didn't even get that
Yeah,
far, but it's crazy news going around
it's not
because
fair. Not fair
if
at
they
all.
don't do something to that, I can see a lot of players that have played against NBA vets coming back to college, and I think that would be awful. I think that's
And that
bad
would
for the
just
game.
that would just turn college into like the NBA style format of just
Hmm.
run down the floor, 1-on-1, ISO, jack up a three or something like that.
I agree. I think
I
I'd
think
ruin
that's what
college
makes
basketball.
college basketball way better than the NBA is there's actual offenses and defenses being ran. There's being plays being run
Hmm.
for the most part. I mean, you have it in the NBA, of course, but not to an extent that college has.
No, I think coaching plays a big factor in college too. I
Oh
think it's
yeah,
fun
100%.
watching great play. You don't see great plays in the NBA anymore because
Yeah,
everyone's just so good.
I remember last year, Rick Pitino, he said that they're not even recruiting high school guys for the most part. There might be the occasional one or two guys that they'll look at from the high school level, but for the most part, they're just grabbing dudes out of the transfer portal.
Yeah,
And now
exactly.
you got dudes grabbing guys from the NBA. Everybody's going to end up doing it if it actually ends up becoming a thing.
Mhm.
The fact that it hasn't already been stopped or put a limit on, it doesn't look good.
No. So we are against this. We do not stand.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Mhm.
100%.
But yeah,
But
that was it for college basketball on my side
okay. Alrighty. No more college basketball. Let's get to the better part of the show here. We'll switch
this
over to
week for
football.
sure.
Oh yeah, 100%. See, he always agrees. He
This
knows it
week.
deep down. Knows it. 4 games. You got the Orange Bowl, Rose Bowl, Sugar Bowl, and then the Cotton Bowl. Shep, which one would you like to start out with? Are you cool with picking the first game to start out with?
Let's go. Which one do I think is going to be the least interesting? I'm going to. Oh God, there's four great games. Let's do Ole Miss, Georgia. Let's talk about the All-State Sugar Bowl.
So Shep thinks the Sugar Bowl is going to be the worst game out of all of these.
I do.
Okay.
I can give you a
Okay.
spread if you don't have the spread.
Yeah, go ahead, pull that up for me
It is
whenever
six
you.
and a half for
He's
Georgia.
already got it.
Already
Six
got
and a
it.
half Georgia.
Mm.
Okay, what's that total?
Total? Don't know the total. I can only see the spread on the Sports Center app.
You're good. You're good. Can
Mm.
you, when you pull it up, just interrupt me and tell me.
The
So this,
over is 55 and a half. Sorry, got it quick.
no, you're good. You're quick with it. I like it.
Hmm.
So this game already happened this year. Uh, Georgia ended up winning this 43-35, and this was played at Georgia. If you guys didn't watch this game or you forget it, Ole Miss was pretty much leading this game. I'm pretty sure all the way to the fourth quarter, and then Georgia came back in the fourth quarter, won the game. It
Yes.
was probably Stetson Bennett's best game of the year. I'm pretty sure after this game is when the Heisman talk really started to show up for him. This is an interesting game. Like we said, my mic is just dropping and dropping here. Sorry. Interesting game here because of course you got the coaching change for Ole Miss. Lane Kiffin's out the door. You got Pete Golding in there, but they kept the coordinator. They didn't keep the coordinators. The coordinator's coaching for the playoffs. I've already mentioned
Hmm.
that.
I love him, by the way. I love his press conferences.
Who?
Ole Miss, the coordinator, I guess the
Oh,
coach
Pete
now.
Golding.
Yeah.
He's a product of Nick Saban. Just so you
Mhm.
know. Just so
Yeah.
everybody knows, pretty much every head coach in college football at these big top programs, they're from the Nick Saban coaching tree. It's what happens. Okay, that's how good Nick Saban was as a coach. Okay,
Same.
he's got a lot out there in the coaching tree. But back to this game. Do you bet against Kirby Smart? Of course you don't. Never, ever, 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 ever do that. But for me to make a case for Ole Miss, I guess the best thing I can say is that this team has completely rallied. I mean, absolutely rallied behind each other. They're playing for not only a championship, but they're playing for the dudes right next to them. It's
Heart,
all
baby.
heart. They're playing because they love each other, stuff like that. Trinidad Chambliss, he's a quarterback for Ole Miss. He's former D2. Lane Kiffin went down, saw him in D2. He said, "You know what? I want that guy. That guy, I'm going to bring him up to Ole Miss," and he did that. He wasn't going to start this year. Um, Austin Simmons, he's a lefty, very talented prospect. He actually committed to Ole Miss. I'm pretty sure when he was 17. I'm pretty sure he was on campus when he was 16 or 17. He played baseball at Ole Miss too. I don't know if he still does, but he was a starter for Ole Miss at the beginning of the year. Great player too. He's got a lot of potential. He went down injured. Trinidad came in, and everybody's like, "Oh, if they don't get Simmons back, this year's probably a bust." Complete opposite. This dude just blew up on the scene. Trinidad is probably out of all the quarterbacks in this playoffs. You got Dante Moore. I forget the Texas Tech dude, but you know, you got Ty Simpson, Alabama, Mendoza from Indiana, of course, Julian Sain, and Carson Beck. Trinidad, he's probably like the most dangerous just because he's the best with his legs as a factor. And when you get a guy that can run, he's probably one of the best athletes on the field, top 5 athlete on the field, and he's at the quarterback position, you're in a really, really dangerous spot as a defense. And that's the hardest thing for a defense to do is contain a scrambling quarterback. And he's more like an improviser because he has a good arm on him. He can make pretty much every throw that needs to be made in that Lane Kiffin offense. So Georgia, on the other hand, their defensive line this year, it's been rough. It's been real rough at the beginning of the year. Let me emphasize that. Beginning of the year. The later half of the year, especially against Alabama in the SEC championship game, that defensive line looks like the old Georgia defensive line that you're used to seeing of just absolute monsters just coming off the edge and in the interior. Ole Miss, on the other hand, Keywan Lacey, one of the best running backs in the country. I've already mentioned that.
Mhm.
He's incredible, absolutely incredible. When they played earlier this year, Georgia shut him down. I think Ole Miss only had like 80, 88 yards rushing. I'm pretty sure they were under 100 yards rushing. That's a big problem for Ole Miss. If they can't get that rushing game with Keywan Lacey going, they're not going to win the game. As good as Trinidad is, and as good as any quarterback is, if you don't give a quarterback a rushing game and a good running game, like a reliable one, I don't see you winning a national championship at all. And yes, that applies to Alabama, which we'll talk about, of course. But
Mhm.
I'm going to go Georgia just because it's Kirby Smart. I'm sure Shep will go Georgia also, but wouldn't it be special if he went Ole Miss?
In this game, Ole Miss is looking at me just because I've been staring at it,
Did
saying
I
pick me,
convince you?
and I want to pick Ole Miss because I like underdogs. I like the story. I
Yeah.
think it's a great story if they win. Coach
Of course.
leaves, you just rally around everybody. Yeah, that would be an amazing story.
It's like a Cinderella story.
Yeah, but the world is cruel. I'm going Georgia 6.5.
Oh, and he's taking that 6.5.
Yeah,
Interesting.
I had Georgia winning it all. I think they are going to win it all. I know we said last podcast, but
I mean, that's fair. I get it. It's Kirby Smart, but I'm just saying, Ole Miss. I mean, they can blow up like that game at Sanford against Georgia. That was Trinidad's first game on the road.
mhm.
He's in a top 3 environment probably in college football, and I'm pretty sure they scored on almost every drive. They put up 35 points, and I think they only had the ball for like 20 minutes on offense. That's
Yeah,
crazy. It's crazy to do.
55 and a half is the over. So supposed to be high scoring. That'd be nice. That'd be fun
I'm
to
telling
watch.
you,
But
he's special, and he's one of those guys that can completely take over a game. If you don't keep him on track and keep him in that pocket, if you don't have your contain on and you don't control your rushing lanes as a defensive line, he's going to cause big problems for you. But we're both going Georgia. We'll see what happens with it. That is though. That's on the first. That's 8 o'clock.
8 p.m. Yeah,
8 p.m. there. Okay, so that's the Sugar Bowl there. Shep, I'll just let you pick again. Pick
second
the
worst
second
game.
worst game.
Miami Ohio State, the Cotton Bowl.
See, I think this is the worst game. I you know
Well,
Georgia Ole
we'll
Miss is
talk
a
about
better
it.
game than this. He's
We'll talk about it.
Georgia Ole Miss is a better game, but
Talk about it.
Miami Ohio State. So what I want you guys to do, what invite you to do in this game, we know what's going to happen outside with the skill players of both these teams. What I would do for you guys, I would just cover up everything on the TV besides the offensive defensive line and just watch that entire battle the whole game because Miami, what they have rushing on the edge with Ruben Bain and Metzamora, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. Maybe I can get a better pronunciation if I'm looking at his name. I think it's Metzamora. Shep, what do you think?
Metamora. Look at
Okay,
Metamora.
we're gonna roll with Metzamora. Those two dudes that, like I said, I think last week, that's probably the best, you know, edge rushing duo in the country. I think it's pretty hard to beat. In fact, what they can do is they can win a game. We saw them do that against Texas A&M. I think they sacked. I think they got 7 sacks or something like that against Texas A&M, which isn't supposed to happen. But if you remember, like we've already mentioned, Indiana, they got pressure on Julian Same, and they won that football game because that's pretty much the first time that Ohio State has seen pressure like that, especially Julian Sane himself. If Miami can do that, that's Miami's best chance at winning this game. If Miami strolls Carson Beck out there and he's like, Carson, we're going to leave this game up in your hands, you'll lose the football game. You'll lose the football game. You will. Carson Beck is not going to go out there and take over a game, especially when you have Caleb Downs on the other end of the field. It's not even fair, actually. Caleb Downs is light years ahead of a football player than Carson Beck will ever be. It's not even close. I bet you Caleb Downs would probably be a better quarterback than Carson Beck if he trained for like a year. I could see it happening. But
Caleb Down is a freak.
he
He is
is.
a freak.
He'll be an NFL Hall of Famer, 100%. But what Miami does have going for him is the running game. Let me pull up his name here because I already forget it. Mark Fletcher Jr. had a great game last week. If you look at his stats on the year, it's nothing, like insane or anything like that. But if Miami can get the running game going, that's their best chance at winning this game. They're an extremely good running football team when they actually do it. You paid Carson Beck, I think, $4 million. So I
Four
feel like
mil.
you're kind of forced to really throw the ball there at that point, which I get it. And Miami, they've got Malachi Toney, the best freshman in the country. I think that's safe to say. I don't think there's a better freshman than him. So Malachi Toney, and I've said it already before, Malachi Toney one-on-one coverage, I don't think there's anybody's who's going to be able to guard him. That's a huge mismatch, especially in the slot. If you run him in the slot and you get him in the open space, you're probably guaranteed some good plays there. But that's a Matt Patricia defense. Matt Patricia, he's a mad scientist. He's like Brent Venables times 10. Okay, this is a guy with NFL, experience too. Matt Patricia, he's probably not even sleeping. I don't think Matt Patricia has ever slept a day in his life. he's one of those guys. He's just got that it factor as a play caller, especially at the collegiate level, which I think he's going to stay at the collegiate level for a couple of years there. I think he enjoys it because this Ohio State defense is. If you were to ask me like what's the most elite group in college football, I would probably say the Ohio State defense, and I don't think there's another elite group out there. There's definitely not another. There's not an elite offense, not another elite defense, not even close to what Ohio State has done this year. I'm gonna go Ohio State in this game. Shep, what's the spread? You got the spread there?
9.5 for OSU, and then the over is 40.5.
9.5. Wow. I actually thought it was gonna be more, but okay. Um, yeah, I'm gonna go Ohio State on this. Shep.
This is the second worst game, only because I think Miami upsets Ohio State in this game. I think it's going to be a slugfest, just like Indiana, and I think Miami's going to pull it off.
Okay. Okay. Um, well, I'll say this. Like I said, Julian's saying they got pressure on him, but I think if you just listen and to how Julian Saling operates himself, his character, how he goes about his business, I don't think he's going to get tripped up by that stuff again. Okay. I think he has an amazing game. I mean, to be honest, all he really needs to do is just hike the ball and throw it deep to you know who, Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate there, and they'll probably win a football game. But see what happens. That game actually happens tomorrow. Tomorrow's the 31st, right?
Correct.
What is that? Yep,
Tomorrow's
tomorrow's
the
the
31st.
31st. It's 7:30. Okay, so make sure you guys watch this game.
Yeah.
It's fair. It's going to be a fun game for Ohio State and Ohio State fans. I can guarantee you that. But Shep, third worst game.
Third worst game. Now, these two flip a coin because I think these two are going to be two great games.
It's fair.
I'll save the Rose Bowl for last. Let's talk about Capital One Orange Bowl.
Capital One Orange Bowl. I love this game. I think this
I
is
love
the
this game
best
too.
game. I think this is the most exciting game everybody's looking for. You got Oregon and Texas Tech. I think I mentioned it last week that Oregon's definitely like viewed as like the underdog team in this playoff just because they're not in the Big Ten or SEC, and they're in the Big 12. And the Big 12 is everybody views them as the weaker conference, although it's definitely the ACC in my opinion. But Texas Tech, I think that they got outside of a Big Ten and SEC, conference. I think they've got a roster that can compete with a team from like Oregon, from the Big Ten or from the SEC. I think they're the closest team to that. With that being said, that's because there's a lot of money in that roster. A lot. That's probably the most money. Definitely top three.
Oil, baby.
Sure. Oil money. Yep, Texas there. So big matchup here. You got that Oregon running game there, and then you got the Texas Tech box there leading the way. You got All-American linebacker Joey Rodriguez for Texas Tech. He's the best linebacker in the country. It's not even close. He probably should have been talked about in the Heisman more, in my opinion. But the running back for Oregon, and this is the thing, I feel like nobody kind of expects from Oregon because Oregon's always been known as a real flash team just because of the uniforms and all that. Oregon's a running football team. You got Dante Moore and all that. Love it. Oregon's best success this year is when they're running the ball. And like I'm talking about Texas Tech, how they got, a great roster. Oregon has an SEC roster. They're built out as an SEC team. Control the trenches, dominate the trenches, because that's Dan Lanning. Where Dan Lanning come from? He came from Georgia and Alabama. It all adds up. It makes sense. But you got Jordan Davidson there, and then Noah Winnington from Oregon there. Two really solid running backs with Winnington, being the leader of the backfield there. Davidson, he's more of their goal line guy. He's got 13 touchdowns this year. He's a great running back. I mean, he averages 6.4 yards a carry. Winnington averages 6.9 yards a carry. But on the offensive side of things for Texas Tech, let me get their quarterback's name pulled up because I'm completely blanking. Morton, yes, that's his name. That's his name. Texas Tech, they run the ball too. They're just like Oregon. Their best success is going to be running the ball, but Oregon they're a way better throwing team than Texas Tech, and I don't even think it's close. Especially on a talent level, they got a lot better talent in Oregon in the wide receiver room, especially. But Cameron Dickey, he's had pretty much 200 carries, sitting there at 198, rushed for over 1,000 yards. He's got 14 touchdowns. Jacoby Williams, he's got 142 carries on the year, 787 yards, 6 touchdowns. Texas Tech, I feel like they haven't been really pushed to the limit this year playing in the Big 12. I know they got one loss to Arizona State. Arizona State, they were in the playoffs last year. They had a talented team this year. They were just completely riddled with the injury bug there. But the Texas Tech, for them to win this game, it's going to be completely led by the defense. This game is going to be probably like a 2014, 21-10 game, something like that along the lines. For them to win this game, it's going to have to be low scoring. There's no way Texas Tech outscores, or there's no way they win this in the shootout. I don't see that happening. I don't think a Dan Lanning-led defense is even going to let that happen. And like I said, Oregon is well more equipped offensively wise to win a shootout than Texas Tech is. But Texas Tech, they're playing good football. I think cultural wise, I think they have the best culture besides Indiana out of all these teams right now this year. They're playing together. They've had a solid year. Chep, who are you going with?
Oh, I think you took the words right out of my mouth. I'll give you guys the spread. It's 2.5 in favor of Oregon. The over is actually 51.5, which kind of surprised me in this game.
Yeah.
But like you said, I think for Texas Tech to win this, it's going to have to be in the trenches and on the defensive side. Oregon's just got better wide receivers, better ball thrower. It's if they can control the run game and keep it to a low scoring, I think Texas Tech can win, but I will be going with Oregon. Be going with the Ducks.
Yeah.
Like the under a lot. I do like the under in this game.
Yeah. The under, wow, that's crazy. That's at 51. It's been a great story for Texas Tech. Don't get me
Mhm.
wrong. And I'm not trying to sound like they're going to get killed by Oregon.
No, that 2.5 spread is looking. That's a good spread. I think that's. I
I think
like
it should
that.
be more. It's just like quarterback play. Like, there's no way, because this game is going to come down to Texas Tech having to throw the ball to win the game. And there's just no way on earth Morton, Brenton Morton, sorry for the pronunciation. There's no way that guy leads like a 2-minute drill in the fourth quarter for Texas Tech to win the game. There's no way. Texas Tech, every game this year they've won because of their running attack, because they've led pretty much the whole game. I'm trying to think of every Texas Tech game this year. I don't remember them coming from behind to win a game. They've led, I'm sure, every game almost, maybe probably besides that Arizona State game.
Yeah,
I
looking
mean,
at the scores right now, they've rocked through their schedule.
yeah, if Oregon goes out, jumps up to a 7-14-0 lead, if Oregon jumps up to a 14-0 lead, or even 21, there's no way, absolutely no way that Texas Tech wins this game, and that could end up being a blowout in that case. But I'm going Dan Lane in Oregon. I
So am
think
I. I am going to the
I think
Ducks.
I think they win by more than 2.5. The only way I see Texas Tech winning this game is if they make it really, really ugly, really, really
Mm.
ugly, and that could happen. It really could happen. But I think Oregon's playing great football right now. I know they didn't make the Big Ten championship, but they've only got the one loss to Indiana, and Indiana's number one team in the country.
Yep.
And Indiana won that game in Eugene. They did. They deserved it. It's not like Oregon blew that game. I really don't think they did. That's just an early season game that you just happen to lose. Great, great learning curve, though. I think Dan Lanning loves it. Oregon Ducks. What is their saying? Go Ducks.
Go Ducks. I think that is. Go Ducks. Sko
Go
Ducks?
Ducks.
Or is that hockey? I don't know.
No, no. I think we're gonna go Ducks.
Go Ducks.
Okay, let's move on to the Rose Bowl here. Alabama, Indiana. And all of my, how old am I? 23. I think I'm 23. In all of my 23 years of living, I never thought that I would see Alabama playing Indiana in a meaningful football game.
As the
Ever.
ninth seed, and Indiana's the one.
Especially
That's
Indiana being the
crazy.
one seed. never thought that that would ever happen. I'm sure I could drag this talk on for a while here talking about Alabama, but I won't. It Shep, do you know that spread?
It is. Give me 2 seconds. It is 7. Hoosiers -7,
-7. Huh.
and it's 48.5 is the over.
So I'm fairly confident. I think it's going to rain, or there's a decent chance of
It
rain.
is. Yes, it's supposed to rain
Uh,
in
and
Cali.
it's pretty hard, Shep. It's pretty hard to throw the ball in the rain.
It's true. That's a very good point.
And Shep, my next question is: what team in the entire playoffs quite literally cannot run the ball?
You guys.
Yes, Alabama cannot run the
Hmm.
ball.
Yeah.
Indiana is very good at running the ball, extremely good at running ball. They might be the best running team in the playoffs here. This is looking like a very scary scene for Alabama here if the weather actually turns into a type of game where you can't throw the ball. Because if that's the case, that means you're taking the ball out of Ty Simpson's hand, who's been Superman for Alabama all year. And if that's the case, you're not going to win a football game. If this comes down to Alabama literally being forced to run the ball because of the weather, you won't win. You won't. And the thing is, what's going to happen is it's going to rain, and Alabama's going to be stubborn. Not even stubborn. It's pretty much force their hand. They're going to be playing from behind, so they're going to have to throw the ball. And Ty Simpson, he's not. He's going to get all the blame in the world because he wasn't able to win this game because of the situational football. And that sucks for Alabama, and it sucks for Ty Simpson because I think he's had a great year for Alabama. I've got no complaints at all. Indiana, on the other hand, man, this game is just playing right into your favor. I don't think you won it anyway. Kurt Cignetti's probably, I don't know what he's doing right now, but I'm imagining him. He's probably
Licking his
walking.
chops.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he don't sleep too. There's no way he
Mhm.
sleeps.
No.
He's
Caffeine.
psychotic.
Black
He is
coffee every
psychotic.
hour.
Yeah, oh yeah. You think he's? There's no way he puts any creamer in his coffee.
Oh,
It's
no.
straight
Straight
black.
black. It's probably the whole pot. He just takes the pot with him.
He probably just drinks it out of the pot.
Yeah. Just
It's probably weird
like,
like that.
because he's a dog.
This is Everything sets up for a Indiana win here. I think that 7 straight up is I think it's a fair spread, to be honest. As much as I
Okay.
love Bama, if it's gonna rain to the point where you can't throw the ball, you're gonna lose the game.
That's
100%
not what I
gonna lose.
was thinking coming out of a Bama fan. I thought you'd be a little more excited.
Well, Shep, when you average like 2.4 yards a carry, you kind of just gotta accept the fact, and I won't be biased. We can't run the ball, and if it comes down to us needing to run the ball, we're gonna lose.
No
Alabama's
bias in
gotten
the
away
show.
with it this year. Gotten away with it because the defense for Alabama has been the shining point of this whole team. As good as Ty Simpson's been, and Ty Simpson deserves his flowers, Alabama's where they're at because of Kane Womack in that defense. They've played incredible. You know, I don't think you can say that they're, elite at stopping the run. Like I said, I don't think there's another elite group besides Ohio State's defense, but Alabama's got a great defense, so every time they've needed to get off the field, they've gotten off the field. It's been incredible. They've single-handedly won probably, more than 5 games for Alabama this year. I think this is a great matchup though between the Indiana offense and Alabama's defense. At this, do you know what the total was?
It was, what was it? 48.5.
48.5. I think this is a solid, if you're a betting person, I think this is a solid under bet. Because Alabama last week, they scored 34 points against Oklahoma. And I can tell you right now, I've watched every Alabama game this year. They haven't done that since probably early on in the year. The Alabama offense before that Oklahoma game, I think over the past like 4 or 5 weeks, I don't think they scored over 30 points collectively or something like that, something close to that. Counting out the Eastern Illinois games, we're not going to count that, but
I'm looking at that right now. Yeah, you're right.
I'm probably pretty close to that.
Yeah, last time they scored 30 was against Vanderbilt. They scored 30 against Vanderbilt.
Yeah, and that was a while ago, long
Hmm.
time ago. But
October 4th.
like I said, Indiana, they're very successful on the run, and you know, Alabama's. I think their run defense is. I think they're well equipped to turn this into a low scoring game, especially if it's raining because just like Alabama, they won't be able to throw the ball in the rain. Indiana won't be able to throw the ball in the rain. It still goes both ways. It's just the fact that Indiana is well more equipped for this type of game because they've found success in the run game. And that's not to say that Alabama can't come out and find success. It totally can happen. Totally can happen. It's just very hard to see it happen considering how this year's been for Alabama running the ball. Plus side for Alabama is you get LT Overton back. He's probably one of their best contributor on the defensive line. He's not like a crazy pass rusher, but he's very well, not very well. He's very good in the run
Good
game
catch.
department.
Shout out
Thank you.
Grammar. Shout out Grammar.
I usually don't catch it between that
Wow. Good
and the
job.
voice cracks. Oh, we forgot. We're gonna start after this episode. What we're gonna start
Oh yeah.
doing is what we're gonna do is because it's bad, it's real bad. I edit all of it out, but Shep before the show starts, he's gonna announce his over under for
On
how many
voice
times my
cracks.
voice cracks, and I'll leave it in. It'll make editing easier, and it'll be a fun little thing to just laugh about. So we'll leave it in. But back to LT Overton, he's probably Alabama's best person on defensive line. They got a couple good guys on the defensive line, but having him back is huge for Alabama because he's been out, I think, the past 3 games, and it hasn't been like a physical injury. I think it's just been an illness thing. So it's not like he's coming off a sprained ankle or a shoulder injury or anything like that. So he should be playing 100% or pretty close to it. On the other hand, Indiana lost their best guy.
Defensive tackle, right?
Yes, let me get the name real quick because it's a huge loss for Indiana. It really is.
That's what you get for partying too hard after victories.
Yeah, so his name is Stephen Daly. It's really unfortunate. I hate to see it happen, but he tore his MCL or ACL celebrating after they beat Ohio State in the Big Ten championship. He was just high fiving fans. He was just jumping high five fans. Whole knee buckled. That guy is. I'm looking at it right now. He ranks second in the entire country for tackles for loss at 19. That's a huge loss for them because if you watch the Indiana game, and I'll be honest, hand up, I haven't watched every Indiana game, but I go back on YouTube and I watch the highlights from their games. That guy lives in the backfield in the run game and in the passing game. He lives in the backfield. It's a huge loss for them, but it's Curt Cignetti. I mean, it's not even like Stephen Daly was like a highly touted guy. I don't know if he was. I'm assuming he's not. Curt Cignetti, he just gets his guys to play hard, and that's why he is an insanely great coach, and he's on track to be, really, really good coach. I'm not going to say he's going to be the greatest coach of all time. Nobody will ever top Nick Saban. But if he keeps going on this track, and a couple of years from now, everybody's going to say that guy's probably going to end up being a top 10 coach of all time. I could see it happening.
If
He's
he
off.
keeps Indiana in like the top 10 for like the next couple, like 5 years,
Yeah.
I don't know, might be able to argue he's probably the best coach of all time. Bringing a
Dude, are
team
you
that
crazy?
was not a football school at all, second year coming in, you're first ranked in the country.
Do you
I'm
know
just saying
what
if he
Alabama
keeps it up,
was?
if he
You know
keeps
what
it up.
Alabama was after Bear Bryant and
I
before
don't
Nick
think
Saban?
Indiana had a football school until Cignetti came.
No, they did. Okay, Shep. Nobody's ever going to top Nick Saban. After we
I'm just
hang
saying,
up here, I'm going to send you a link, and it's going to be Nick Saban accomplishments
30
and
for 30.
a 30 for 30, and you'll never question yourself again. I'll get you right. Don't worry. But back to Curt Cignetti. He's lost his best, D-line guy, but I don't think it matters because – and Josh Pate had a great point of saying in the SEC championship against Georgia and Bama, Georgia was missing their starting center for that game, and it was I'm pretty sure this dude was like 18 years old for Georgia, the backup, true freshman. And before the game, that's like the whole talking point is, holy cow, Georgia's missing their center. They got a true freshman in there, and he's got to play in the SEC championship against Alabama. That's the whole talk. And even I'm pretty sure we talked about it on the show
We did.
on this one. Pretty sure I made that a point. That literally did not matter at all. Did not matter at all. Because Kirby Smart did a great coaching job coaching around that. Taking that out of the game. It wasn't even a factor for Georgia. Nobody even noticed it. Didn't even notice it. If Kurt Cignetti can find a way to coach that factor out of the game plan to where them missing daily, it doesn't even matter. They're gonna probably win the football game is my best guess. Will it happen? You never know. I think that's a little harder to do as a coaching project. There is you losing a defensive end like that versus a center. It's worse losing a defensive end. I think that's easy to say. But you guys know the drill. I'm a diehard Bama fan. I'm rolling with the Tide. Shep, what do you got?
Tide. I think there's two major factors. I'll go over the weaker one, which would be Bama's defense. If they keep them in the game. And I think the major factor will be whoever runs the SEC will be giving phone calls during this game and betting the refs a lot of money for this to go Bama's way. But I still think Cignetti gets this done. I'm going Hoosiers. Even with against the cheating SEC.
He's delusional. This is why he's the basketball expert, not the football expert.
After what I saw against Oklahoma, sketchy.
Those are two SEC teams.
Sketchy. That's all I'm saying. Go Hoosiers.
What, blocking a punt and catching a pick six is sketchy?
A pick six that I could have made.
That's called execution.
I thought I was running routes out there.
Oh,
I was like, wow. Just in the breadbasket. It's weird, dude. It's weird.
I already went over that play with you. You don't your mind isn't on that level yet. It's okay though. You're here for basketball.
Okay?
But I forgot to talk about Mendoza. Sorry. I'll say this about Mendoza.
We all know.
That is fair. We all know about him. Mendoza, the thing about Indiana is they really rarely ever make mistakes, and that's all credit to Mendoza. You know, I don't think it's fair to call people game managing quarterbacks. There's nothing wrong with that, because I can guarantee you those game managing quarterbacks, they're winners. They win games. They win a lot of games, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Mendoza doesn't have to do anything special, to be honest with you. If they just play their game, they got a really good chance of winning, because Alabama is forced week in and week out to put up miracle performances to win games, and it's not going to last. It's not going to last. You saw it happen. That's how they lost to Georgia. That's how they lost to Oklahoma early in the year. It's really hard to do, you know. But Alabama, going with them to get the win here. Shep's going with Indiana. I respect it, honestly. Don't hate it at all. That is the conclusion of these previews here. I don't know where I want to go with this. I guess I'll chat about the transfer portal for football.
Has there been any major?
It's not open, but everybody already announces that they're entering the transfer portal is always open, just so everybody knows. It is never closed. Behind the scenes, it's always open. There's guys entering.
Always phone calls.
Yes, always going on. Tampering. That's the right terminology. But yeah, there's some couple guys. Auburn is losing Cam Coleman, who's a former 5-star. He spent this was his second year at Auburn. He was one of the top wide receivers coming out of high school, right up there with Jeremiah Smith and Ryan Williams there. He's an athletic freak. He's one of the best wide receivers in the country. He's probably the best player in the portal now. They lost him. Auburn also lost Deuce Knight today. He entered the transfer portal. He was a true freshman. He was a 5-star coming out of high school. Deuce Knight's a quarterback. Cam Coleman was a wide receiver.
Wide receiver, okay.
Yeah, Deuce Knight, he's in the portal. It just happens, you know. For anybody just saying Auburn's blown up, they're not blown up. They're going through a cultural shift, which is good, because Alex Golesh he's fixing that culture. That culture was in a really, really bad spot from the Hughes era there. Chill out, Shep, okay? I know it's a bad okay. I had a hiccup, and I got caught in the middle of the hiccup, okay? It happens, all right? I hate you so much. But They're fine. They'll be all right. Other transfer portal news. Trying to think if there's anybody big. I don't think so. Yeah. Shep, did you see anything?
Besides the Auburn wide receiver, which you already said. That was the only one that I saw.
Yeah, I think that's about it. I don't there's not been any coaching hires. I don't think. I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
Oh, something
Oh,
I
it did
found.
no, the NFL Raiders offensive coordinator Chip Kelly. Did he not sign somebody?
No.
Did I not see that? I guess that must have been a fake post. I thought he was coaching somewhere. I thought he
No.
took a job.
No.
Cut that out.
Not yet. Oh yeah, no he wait.
Did he? I don't know. Hold on, let me look that up.
Oh wait, no. Bobby Petrino, he's gonna be the offense coordinator for Bill Belichick next year. So you got the famous Bobby Petrino and all of his, wonderful history as a coach going to Chapel Hill with Bill Belichick and his 23, 24-year-old girlfriend.
Bombshell. And I was right about Chip
Love it.
Kelly. I'm looking at Sports Center. He's going to
Where's he at?
Northwestern. Northwestern.
That's a great hire.
I know.
Good offense
Great
coordinator hire.
for Northwestern.
That's pretty solid.
Watch out, Northwestern. What I
Wait,
know? I
that's an
don't know.
offense coordinator or a head coach?
He's going to be a head coach.
No way.
Oh no, it's the school's new offense coordinator. Sorry, I was reading head
Okay.
coach was right next to each other. On me, new offensive coordinator for Northwestern. That's what it is.
Okay. That's Shep's statement. I never saw that. That's all Shep. It's
I'm
all
looking at it
Shep.
right
So
now. Flip the
if it's
camera.
not real, blame him.
It's on
Okay.
ESPN. It's true.
ESPN. ESPN. The other thing I was going to say is I found this funny. So Virginia Tech's, I don't know if it was the interim coach or the former head coach that they fired. I'm pretty sure you guys might want to fact check me on this one, to be honest. I'm pretty sure James Franklin just hired that guy as the defensive coordinator.
Damn.
I just think that's funny. The school fired the guy, said you're out of here, just for the new head coach to come in and bring him right back. I find that pretty funny, but I think that's all we got news wise. I don't think there's anything else.
No,
Don't think so. Okay. Shep, you got anything to add?
I'm good. On ball
You're good?
talk.
Okay.
Yeah, good on ball
I think
talk.
we'll probably be back either Sunday or Monday to recap this stuff.
When's
If I
the
were to guess.
final game for football?
I believe Saturday. It's got to be Saturday. No way there's something Sunday.
Yeah, it is Saturday, 8 o'clock.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll be back Sunday or Monday or Tuesday, Wednesday. Who knows? Me and Shep don't have a schedule. We just text each other like, "Hey, you want to record?" It's like, "Yeah, all right." But that's all we got. So enjoy your guys' New Year's. Spend it with family. Be smart. Don't be dumb.
Tell your boy.
All right. We'll catch you guys later.